All right. Well, welcome to tonight's hot topic. I think today is maybe November 17th or 18th, something like that.
18.
Oh, thank you. I'm terrible with the dates. Oh, and now she's calling me. What we're talking about tonight is January parties and January income, making sure that we have January income. And there are some really great ways to look at this strategically. And so what I want to do is walk you through a process, and there are 4 components to it. The first one is when. The second one is who, if you're taking notes. The third one is what. And the fourth one is how. So that's our framework for tonight. When, who, what, and how. So the first one is the when, and the when has to do with when are you free in January to do parties. And you might be thinking, I don't know. Well, but you might have some ideas of when you would be available. And it's good to start at least laying out the framework so you know if you're going to be traveling, you know if you've got church, you know if you've got a wedding to go to, you know some things, right? And you know sort of some of the nights that you're usually available. So you want to pull out a blank January calendar and start figuring out when you would be free. At the same time, figure out how many parties you really want to do in January. Now, let me lay out the groundwork. We're going to have a brand new spring summer catalog starting on December 20th. There might be a little sneak peek before then, just saying. But we will be able to sell out of that catalog December 20th. Whatever the host special is after December 19th, it'll start December 20th and go through January 30th. How many days are in January? 31 days in January, right? And so you're going to have this long spell where it's the same host special. One thing that you can know is that the January host special is pretty much always one of the best ones that we can offer. And so we'll see what that ends up being. It won't be announced anytime soon, but it's fair to say to people that January hostesses have always traditionally gotten the best hostess special available throughout the year. So you're going to want to figure out how many parties you're going to want to do in January. There are a couple of really big advantages to making sure that your January is strong. If you're booking parties from your parties, you're going to have a lot of February and March parties because of it. If you really want to grow a team, you'll get in front of a lot of people in January who are looking to start the new year off with a bang. And some of your hostesses in January might decide that they want to do the business as well. Because it's a new year, new goals, new you, new everything. You know how that goes, right? People set new agendas for themselves. And so making the most of January can be a really great thing. Now, I know that a lot of people would say, oh, nobody has any money in January. Everybody's, done partying because they're all partied out from the holidays. And we're going to talk about that when we get to the third section, which is the what. But I want you to set that thought aside because even if there is a little trickle of that in some sectors, it's really not the basic thread that you're going to see. So the when is important. The second one is the who. Because January hostesses traditionally get an awful lot of extra in free, you can sometimes be a little bit choosy on who you offer parties to. If you've been with us for a little while, you might go back to your very best customers and offer it as a premium. You can go back to your very best hostesses from the past and say, you know what, you're one of my favorite hostesses. I've only got X number of dates available in January. It's usually one of our very best host specials possible, and it's our brand new spring catalog. I wanted to offer you a date first. Okay, so the who could also be sort of a where question. Where do you want to do business in 2020? What towns do you really want to do business in? Because if you know that there's a neighborhood that's 10 miles away, it's really big, and you're thinking, you know what, I think there are a lot of women who would really like this there. Be thinking about who lives there. how can you meet somebody who lives there and offer a party so that you can get into that neighborhood or that town or that group of people? Maybe it's the junior league, maybe it's the whatever, right? Some large women's organization, and you try to find a way in January to get firmly rooted in an area. Okay, so it's not just about people, but it might be an area as well. So that's how you start deciding who to offer parties to. There's another thing that happens, though. It's that we're still balancing booking November parties and December parties, right? I mean, we've still got 6 whole weeks going here. I know people, and I'm still booking November. I'm trying to book Black Friday. I just booked Small Business Saturday, November 30th. And so, you know, there's no reason not to be booking November, and certainly not to be booking December. But when you hear somebody saying to you, I'd love to do something, but I just can't do it before the holidays, you say, I am booking up my January right now because it is such a big month for us. And if you'd like a date, let's talk about it right now so I can pencil you in. Okay. And so I've had 4 or 5 people tell me I can't do before the holidays, and they're all going to do January with me, which is great. And they're all sort of high value hostesses, like new ones to me, which is really exciting, kind of getting into new areas. So be thinking about the strategy of who you're going to book with for January. Okay, then the third component is the what. So what has to do with what am I going to say? And this is where we talk about the objections. Oh, nobody has any money left. They're all snowbound. They're all partied out, whatever. And it's reasonable to say, hey, Susie, you were one of my very best hostesses ever. I want to offer you a January party date because that's it's probably going to be our best host reward of the year, because it always is. I know that everybody thinks that everybody's broke in January and they're all partied out, but in reality, they have returns money, they want something fun to do, and they will come to your house if they know that there's a party going on. And so you can directly speak to the objections when you're offering the party, and conversely offer the benefits of doing the party at the same time. And the funny thing is, then they can't come back to you with those objections, because those objections, when they say them, taint their brain about how they're going to react to this. If we say them, it takes away the argument. It takes away the reason, right? Because we've already said it. They can't come back and say it. So framing it that way might take an extra sentence or so as you're reaching out, but that's okay. It's worth it. They're more likely to look at it in a positive way because you already thought through whatever the objections might be. So that's the what. And you could be thinking also about what are some of the fun themes. You know, it could be bling in the new year is the obvious one. What are some of the other ones that we've done? Like Debbie and Rhonda, for example. Sherry, what are some of the other January? There's snowflakes and Swarovski. Snowflakes, Sips and Swarovski. Not for the Florida people, of course, because they don't get all that. What else have we done in the month of January?
That's when we add no snowflakes in Swarovski.
Right. Yeah. Blizzard and bling.
There you go.
Blizzard and bling. What else? Anyway, so you kind of get the idea. There are some fun things that you can do. One of the keys then is shifting into the how. And the how is, how do I keep the party from not canceling? Because January has the highest cancellation rate of the entire year. January does. And it's for a really legitimate reason. Women will book a party for January. They'll sail through the holidays, totally oblivious to the fact that January is coming. And by the time January 7th rolls around, they're like, oh, I'm supposed to be doing a party on January 11th, right? And they have forgotten all about it. So how do we help them to remember that, that the party is happening? Okay, let me text Claire. She's now called me twice. Let me call you in a minute. I'm doing a training. She's used to this.
Yeah. Betsey, another one too that we always use, and it just goes twice a year, is the last chance first glance.
See, that's brilliant. Last chance first glance. Right.
I use that twice a year.
I love that. Right. The retiring pieces and all of the new line.
Yeah. And you tell them you have 2 catalogs to play with, not 1.
Sure. Yep.
And you get all the retired stuff plus the new stuff. So
that's really smart. I love that. Yep. Even bigger collection to shop from.
Right.
So let's think about some ways of keeping the hostess engaged through the holidays so that those parties all stick. I mean, think how great it would be. Let's say your goal is to have 4 parties on the calendar for January. Mine is 8. And I sail into Christmas and I know that they are intact. And here are some of the things I'm going to try to do. I'm not going to succeed with every single one of them. I just know it's just not going to happen. But one of the things, first thing we can do is to make sure that she's got a save the date out there already before Christmas happens. Okay. Now, let me do a little parenthesis here. You can be booking parties in January all the way up through right around January 26th. You could still do a party on January 31st that you booked on January 26th. You just can, and we do it all the time in January because we always have such a good host special. But
I like the idea that you spoke about, I think it was last week or whatever, where we set the party up early in like December and let them start getting orders and stuff through December for their January party. So they've got
Exactly. Yes, Sherry, I'm so glad you said that. So this way, what they're doing is, so let's pretend I book it and it's for January, and like December 2nd, I am setting her up in the system. She's inviting her friends for that January 11th party right now on December 2nd. She won't have the catalog yet, but her friends can shop that day or any day thereafter online on that party link, and everything will ship immediately right to the guest. Immediately could be Christmas shopping, as Sherry said. Wouldn't that be great? And then so she's got this whole bucket of orders sitting there waiting for her when her party happens on January 11th. And she reaps all of the host rewards from all of that, including the party that she'll do that evening. So that's the kind of thing that we can be thinking about, is just simply setting it up in the system and getting her to invite people ahead of time. Another side effect that happens is when people know that they have an event to go to in January that's like this, they're going to go, oh, wait, I've got some returns money, or my dad gave me money for Christmas. Like my dad always gives me money for Christmas. He hands me a check, which is very sweet. And I get to decide what I want to spend it on, something fun that I wouldn't normally buy for myself. Well, those gals will bring that money to a party if they know about it ahead of time. So that's an important component. What if, as soon as the catalogs come out, we make sure that we're getting them the catalogs right away? Several copies, maybe 2, maybe 3 at the most, to each hostess, along with some order forms. What if we also separately send her one of those little $1 ornaments? It could be a heart, it could be a star, something sparkly and cute from the dollar store that says, I can't wait to see you in the new year, bling in the new year for your party. This is something pretty for your tree. And if it's a heart, it's hostesses are the heart of my business. If it's a star, it's hostesses are the star of my business. And you could even include your favorite family recipe in there. And because again, then you're making it personal. If it's your favorite family cookie recipe, your favorite family sweet potato recipe, biscuits, whatever your favorite recipe is, and you send it along with that little ornament, then you've reached out in a hand of friendship, which is really important. Because women love doing business with friends, right? It just makes the whole process that much more fun. it will really cut down on the cancellations if she knows that you two are in it together, that you're looking forward to it as well. And that's important, that it's not just a business for you, that you're excited about it personally. When can we order the catalogs was what Yvonne was wondering. I don't think I can tell you that yet. It's earlier than you think, actually. Usually it's after we finish with this catalog, which is December 19th, but might be sooner than that. We'll see. Let's see. And we might even be able to see it, I don't know, you never know, before then, who knows? Because now we're able to see already a lot of the jewelry, and December 1st we'll be able to see if there's more jewelry for sales incentives, so that helps too. You could even show your potential hostesses all of the incentives that we can earn this month, because that does show some of the new jewelry. So that's a thought as well. Let's see. So yes, oh yeah, you'll get an email about it, I promise. Yeah, you won't miss anything, I promise. Okay, so then the how. So any other ideas? What else could you do to keep your hostess engaged through the holidays so that her party will stick and she'll be tied in? Lori, I muted you. I can unmute you.
Okay, I was just going to say, I think it's a good idea to stay in touch with texts, maybe send like pictures of jewelry, or just check in and just kind of stay connected with your host.
Right. That's a really good point. Once the new catalog comes out, we'll have a whole another 100 or 200 photographs of all the new jewelry that we can start sharing with her. And if we've created a Facebook event page for her, we can start adding those photographs. So I don't know when those will be available. Actually, I don't know, but once they come available, we can be texting them to her, and we can be posting them on whatever that Facebook page happens to be, if we're doing that as well. That's a great point. Yeah, really good. Yeah. Any other thoughts about that? What else we could do in the how to keep the party on track over the holidays? I think we covered a good list there. So any questions about how this whole thing would work with the when, the who you would offer the parties to, the what you would say, and how you would keep the party on the calendar? Questions or ideas? No. Okay. And that comes from Debbie Pickens, and she's been doing this since, dawn of time. I can read her lips. All right. Okay. Well, thank you, ladies. I hope this was a help, and I hope it was interesting to you. This is, I think, one of the most fun times of the year. I love bridging into January because I love that feeling of having all those parties intact and knowing, like going to bed on New Year's Eve going, I have such a great January planned. My business is so intact. I'm really excited for these hostesses. We're going to have a great time. I can't wait to see who I'm going to meet at these parties. And I'm going to bling in, like literally bling in the new year and have so much fun. And that's the best thing of all, is that calm reassurance that we have a great business waiting for us. And so that's why we focus on this January party thing in the middle of November, so that we can have that feeling on December 31st. So anyway, well, thank you, ladies. I hope you have a great night. We'll talk to you soon. Have a terrific week.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye.
And
Night,
Stephanie and Jasmine,
Betsey.
nice
See you in
to
a couple
meet you.
weeks. See you in a couple weeks.
Can't wait.
Looking forward to it.
Oh, me too. I'm so excited.
Yeah, hopefully, I think the weather's going to be a little bit warmer for you when you come down, right? It's
Good.
going to warm up over the next weekend, so you'll
Awesome.
be good.
Yay.
All right, we'll see you then.
Thanks, Rhonda.
All right, bye-bye.